A random day I was heading back home, with plenty of thoughts bouncing in my head, the radio off, trying to find a quiet place in my mind. Suddenly, I remembered the good times I had with my old friends at school, visiting their homes, going to the internet cafe, spending the weekends in campus, the movies, sports, the books, the pub, music, my first job. And then there was also this affair about the Windows XP gaming PC. Welcome to the new Semi-Retro PC YouTube channel. Today we're going to build my first version of a Windows XP PC, a mid to high-end setup, with a random set of parts of the 2000s, mostly period correct for this build, which I wish I had at the time they were released. Let's begin by checking out the motherboard, the Gigabyte GA-G41M Combo revision 2.0. One of the main parts in a build and also one of the more fragile ones, at least in my experience. Reason for which it's important to get a warranty when buying one, or at least getting it tested. The box comes with an instruction manual, information about local warranty, and a CD with the drivers, which still can be found at Gigabyte's website. It also comes with its original backplate, SATA cables, and a retro-friendly IDE connector. This micro ATX motherboard with an LGA 775 socket based on the Intel G41 chipset, which supports, among other, Core 2 Duo and Core 2 Quad processors. It has one PCIe 16 slot, two classic PCI slots, and a PCIe 1X slot. It also features 4 SATA ports, USB, integrated video, which we are not gonna use today, a LAN connector, integrated Realtek sound, and plenty of retro-friendly connectors, such as PS2 ports, parallel, serial, as well as an IDE and floppy connector. Well, and one of its most interesting features is that it supports DDR2 and DDR3 memory up to 8 GB, although only a maximum of 2 DIMMs of each type can be used at the same time. Despite not being officially supported, this motherboard could also be used as a Windows 98 PC with a couple of PCI cards and IDE drives. Please let me know in the description if you are interested in a video of such a project. Regarding the CPU, today we're going for an Intel Core 2 Duo E7400. This CPU released in early 2008 with 2 cores at 2.8 GHz, 3 MB of L2 cache, and a TDP of 65 watts is my choice for this project. More than capable for playing the games we are going to test today. For the CPU cooling solution, this slim stock Intel 775 copper core cooler is more than enough to keep good temperatures at stock speeds. Together with a small amount of MX4 thermal compound should work perfectly. Today's choice for the system's RAM are these 2 attractive sticks of Patriot, 2 GB DDR2 memory running at 800 MHz for a total of 4 GB. This amount of memory will max out the maximum amount of usable RAM of this 32-bit version of Windows XP. They come with a blue heatsink, although, to be honest, they have a slightly different tint of blue each. The small issue with the color happens even today with some DDR3 Kingston memory sets. It's not only a Patriot thing. Now, the graphics card. The EVGA 8800 GT with 512 DDR3 memory in a dual slot design for PCI Express. It was released in 2007, the same year as Windows Vista, but right in the middle of the Windows XP officially supported lifespan between 2001 and 2014. I bought it a couple of years ago and it was in excellent condition. I really like the way it looks, the popular widely used decals at the time, and with its dual slot blower design, which expels the hot air through the back of the case. With 512 megabytes of DDR3 memory, a 256-bit bus, 112 CUDA cores, and native support for DirectX 9 and 10, which is not going to be used in Windows XP, should be perfect for this project. This model comes with two DVI outputs, which can be connected to a modern monitor through a DVI to HDMI adapter if necessary, and it requires an available PCIe 16 slot on the motherboard, a single 6-pin power connector, and has a TDP of 125 watts, which are the things to be aware of when choosing a power supply. Now for sound, we are going to use this Sound Blaster Audigy model number SB0090 with a classic PCI connector. I just love the way this card looks, with a black PCB with gold accents and plated connectors. It was released the same year as Windows XP, 2001. Initially, it supported up to EX3 sound through hardware acceleration, but thanks to later drivers updates, it can now even run EX4. Many games from this era supported these features like EAX, mostly versions 1, 2, and 3, even 4, which provided a different sound experience I really liked. The card requires an available classic PCI slot on the motherboard, and its signal to noise ratio is rated at 100 decibels, which is still good, but could be better if you are planning to use headphones. For the primary drive, we are going to use this SATA SSD with more than enough capacity for installing Windows XP and improving the general experience when booting up the operating system, with rated reading speeds of up to 550 megabytes per second, although my own tests reported a speed of 263 megabytes per second, which is still plenty. This Samsung mechanical drive will be used as a secondary drive, where the games will be installed. 320 gigabytes is plenty for several Windows XP games, and spinning at a speed of 7200 RPM, it is fast enough. With a mileage of around 23,000 hours, the reading speed tests gave us a decent result of 96 megabytes per second. The following is a random working optical DVD drive, which, although not 100% necessary if you are planning to install Windows XP from a USB drive, I find it fun to use, bringing the experience of the early 2000s back, and help to cover one of the case's empty drive bays. Although I would highly recommend using a new certified power supply from a reputable brand, with this model costing around $65, plenty of used ones are available for much less money. But getting it tested with a power meter before buying is a must in my opinion. Now we are going to put everything together in this recycled Thermaltake black ATX case, with some blue accents and an acrylic side panel. Yes, it could use a fresh paint job, maybe in the future. Maybe I will add some old school blue LEDs for this build too. Okay, let's speed things up for the installation process of one of the stars of the show, the beloved Windows XP operating system. So I'm gonna fix myself a coffee while the installation process takes place. So here we can see the processor, the Core 2 Duo E7400 running at 2.8 GHz. And as we can see, there are still a few drivers left for installation. So let's proceed with it. So it's recommended to start with installation of the motherboard's chipset drivers. Let's proceed with installation of the drivers for the sound card, where the driver CD can be found at Fitz Computer Lab's website. And now let's proceed with installation of the graphics card driver, which still can be found at NVIDIA's website. By using the GPU set application, we can see that the graphics card has been correctly detected. So let's start with FIA, a very demanding game released in 2005. So let's check out the results, and we get 125 frames on average, a minimum of 60 and a maximum of 313. Very nice performance. Now let's continue with Doom 3, a game from 2004. Let's check it out at resolution at 1024 by 768, ultra quality settings, and VSync off. And the benchmark shows us a result of 126.2 FPS, which is fantastic. Now let's continue with Half-Life 2 Lost Coast, a game released in 2005, and with the same resolution, 1024 by 768, high settings. And the result is 157 FPS. Really nice. And now let's check out some games with the settings specified on top. And I will join you back at the end with a brief conclusion.
For honor.
Ready for action.
Of course. A sound plan. For honor. Certainly.
Our town is under siege.
A sound plan. For honor.
Justice is come. Feel my wrath.
It's my strength.
Betrayer of the light.
Not bad, not bad. Very good, comrade. Well done. Very good, comrade. That's enough, Lassine. That's enough, comrades. Come over here and pick up a grenade.
These are potatoes, Comrade Commissar. Why are we using potatoes instead of real grenades?
Because real grenades are valuable. In fact, they are worth a lot more than you are.
Oh, of course, Comrade Commissar. My mistake.
Now throw a potato into each of those marked target areas.
Давай, давай, давай! Back to west! Left side!
Michelle, honey, anybody home? I didn't like the way the show started. They'd give me the best seat in the house, front row center. Listen, someone's broken into my house. Call 911.
Is this the Payne residence?
Yes, someone's broken into my house. They're still here. You have to...
Good. I'm afraid I cannot help you.
Who is this? Hello? Michelle! Michelle! The station was drenched in gloom. Alex was a ghost, nowhere to be seen. I'd have to look for him.
Take care. The mercenaries are trained to work together. If you alert one, they will bring others.
Okay, so we have run a few benchmarks and tested some games from between 2001 and 2005 at their highest settings at popular resolutions for that time period, and the results were excellent. Most of the components used are also from the first decade of the 2000s with full driver compatibility for Windows XP, making this a highly recommended setup with very good performance, a nostalgic build, and very good availability of parts at a reasonable price. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, and hope to see you soon back at the Semi Retro PC YouTube channel.